Ladies, gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Please be advised that this movie has no nudity.
I'm out.
Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
Yeah. I just have to wee-wee.
And we're back. Just like the Five Musketeers.
What the hell am I looking at?
A country where culture means pornography and slasher films.
If you had these boobs, you'd be obsessed with them too.
Very exciting, big event. Everybody's excited, huh?
We hope you'll make this a weekly visit. Bring the family. Bring your friends.
We're Cinemadness podcast.
With arms wide open.
Why are we singing Creed?
Keep going. Almost there.
That's dumb.
Hey, welcome to Cinemadness, the podcast. And we are talking about the Rocky saga, where if you listened to us before, we covered in episode 1, Rocky 1 through 3. Episode 2, we covered Rocky 3, 4, and 5, and we still haven't recovered from that street fight in Philadelphia.
Wow, you've already messed up.
Did I?
Yeah, you said we covered 1, 2, 3, and then in episode 2 we covered 3, 4, and 5, but no 6.
Oh, who keeps on ringing that bell? I don't know. So we covered episode 4, 5, and 6, and we got so messed up in that street fight where I don't even know what episodes are there. So today we are going to be covering the Creed sagas, also known as unofficially Rocky 7, 8, and soon to be Rocky 9, although Rocky's not in 9. Yeah.
I don't think anybody calls these movies Rocky 7, 8, or 9. They call them Creed. Yeah. I've never heard anybody say that.
I am just going on that just to build a little bit of synergy. Welcome to Cinemadness,
so
the
you're
podcast.
Lying to our audience.
Mm-hmm. We're making our audience think that they're stupid.
I know. I do not think that
they're stupid.
Think
I'm stupid.
No. Welcome to Cinemadness, the podcast for the third time. Why not?
Stupid.
Why not? We've come this far.
So, I am one of your 3 hosts. I am Roman, and welcome, listening land. And I'm, of course, joined by my friends and family who I love and cherish.
Family.
Another Vin Diesel reference.
Family.
You really want to do the Fast and Furious films. You keep talking about that.
No.
I'm
Unfortunately,
I'm gonna get
do
you.
Olive Garden movies.
You know
next.
what? If I did Harry Potter for you guys, I'll do Fast and Furious.
How dare you compare Harry Potter to Fast and
Furious? You know what? We'll talk about it later. I promise. But so I am joined by the beautiful and charming.
Don't even start.
Don't even start herself, Alison.
Yes, hi. Hi to all the people who have taste in movies out there.
Okay. Oh, wonderful wizarding world of no taste. Got it. Adam is my gentleman, and to my left, you're right for those of you who are watching on the non-existent
You know what I'm laughing at.
All right.
I'm a little gentleman from foggy London town.
All right. Nothing says...
Did you say hi? Hi, Baxter. Sorry.
Hi.
All right.
I am Roman's gentleman from foggy London town.
Oh, boy.
Boy, this burrito is delicious, but it is filling.
Sorry, Roman.
Thank you, Baxter.
Time to go from San Diego back to Philadelphia.
I can't wait to talk about these movies, and I haven't even seen them.
Okay.
So we're going to be covering the Creed saga.
Mm-hmm.
The saga of 2 movies.
Well, it's having a third.
Yeah, but we don't know nothing about that third one.
It's having a third.
It's having a third.
She's having a baby.
So
she's having a trilogy.
Baby. What a wonderful way of saying how much I love you.
So
that's from Look Who's Talking.
That's
the only reason I know that.
So Creed came out in 2015. Not even acknowledging that. Congratulations.
Could you see Sylvester Stallone in Look Who's Talking? Could be lunch meat. Could be peach.
Yes, I could actually.
Right?
Yeah.
I couldn't see him in Grease, but I could see him in almost anything Travolta did.
I could see him as Abe Vigoda.
Yeah.
Bastard took my chocolate.
Bastard stole my candy.
Okay.
Adrian, go get...
They're not going to take your candy, Rock! Stop fighting the orderlies!
So Creed came out in 2015. The
turn our
budget
mics
is
off.
35.
I have control.
35 minutes or
35
minutes. 35 million.
This was made for 35 minutes.
That is a lot of money.
And it grossed $175 million.
That's a lot of money, too. That's a big budget.
Yeah. So this film actually was directed not by Sylvester Stallone or the guy who directed 1 and 5. It was directed by Ryan Coogler, who before this moment was known for his film Taken to the Streets or In the Streets.
It was a Michael McDonald documentary.
And he
Do you want to know what he did?
Yes, I would love to know. Help
He
me out.
did. Well, I know you're going to say the other one.
Yes.
Oh, he was a producer in Space Jam. Oh, you want to know what he directed? I'm
Yes.
sorry. He directed Fruitville Station.
Ooh, I love.
I think that's what I was.
That's it.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, so
I don't know why I was thinking it was like in the streets or something.
Michael B.
Wow.
Jordan was in that too.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was
Fruitville Station's actually
that's what put Michael B. Jordan on the map. Was that movie?
Well,
Very-
that and Parenthood.
and
Parenthood
Holes.
actually
Well, I
put
mean,
him.
as
And
a
Holes.
Oh yeah, totally holes.
total
Yeah.
holes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally holes.
Totally
Oh
holes.
boy. So he
totally holes.
That's what Adrian had to do when she ran out of money.
So, Coogler actually, I'm trying so hard. You guys suck.
Paulie's like, you gotta do what you gotta do, Adrian. Be a woman.
Totally holes. That was the original name of the pet shop.
So Ryan Coogler ended up.
Do they know we're just recording this all in one night? Or
So-
if not, they know now.
So Ryan Coogler actually directed later on.
So who is this Ryan Coogler guy?
Ryan Coogler later went on to direct the Black Panther movie. It was
Oh,
wonderful.
that
Both?
little indie
That
movie.
little movie.
So-
Both or just one?
I believe both. So,
I was gonna do
Believe,
the
I don't know.
research.
You're gonna
So-
look it up now.
well,
I had it up.
Yeah, you did.
No. No, we're not going there.
Totally holes.
oh boy, I deserve this.
So if a Muppet was gonna make a porno,
Yeah.
who would you cast?
I don't
In
know,
Totally Holes.
but they would probably fire the cinematographer. You know why?
I can't even think of it.
Because the film would be rather fuzzy.
I knew it was either that or some sort of felt up joke or something.
Oh well, yeah, that's good too. So, moving on.
You're taking your time there.
Oh, he directed both. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't know if you were still doing Muppets talk or what.
No, so Ryan
Okay, all
Coogler,
right, Ryan Coogler. Yeah. He
directed
said his name 10 times.
Who directed this movie?
God.
Ryan Coogler. So interesting. Ryan Coogler actually directed Black Panther as well as Black Panther 2. And of course, that's with Michael B. Jordan. Now,
Only the first one was
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, even I know that.
you
He died.
no,
He died.
Michael B. Jordan in. Oh, you haven't seen 2, have you?
Oh, God. Now I don't need to. You spoiled it. Wait. He died, though. He just came back in like a flash thing, or is he really resurrected? Because I'll watch it then.
Watch.
I'm not interested in Black Panther.
No, me neither.
Well, then you'll never know.
Oh.
Wasn't a big fan of the first
So,
Marvel's
but a lot of
Lion
people,
King.
175 million reasons why this film was a success. Creed. Now, before we get into that, I want to talk about Michael B. Jordan. We touched on
Let's
that.
do that. Let's look at the. Let's look at this.
He's the guy from the Chicago Bulls, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty certain. Like
Yeah.
he
Space
hit,
Jam?
yeah, he
Yes.
hit 220 for
Which Stephen Coogler produced. Look at that.
Ryan Coogler.
Oh, Ryan Coogler.
Not Steve Coogan.
Wait, I just corrected you on the name,
They called me because you said Ryan Coogler a gajillion times just now.
and I have a head injury.
What's your excuse?
I'm tired.
It's very tiring out here tonight.
Out here tonight.
Out here.
All
in
right,
these-
We podcast in the middle of the woods.
So yeah, if you hear a knock on the woods, it's just John Batista or no, Dave Batista, who's telling us that the world's going to end unless one of us.
It's a really good movie.
It was a
I
really
have an
good movie.
upcoming Say Anything that's about that movie.
yeah,
I
it should
haven't
be
seen
out.
it yet.
soon before these
I hope
episodes.
So that would be great. Look at this. Poster.
That's the poster for
Yeah.
Creed.
Tell everybody what you're showing us.
So I'm showing the Creed poster, and it's got we
Scott
haven't
Stapp.
talked to him about him yet. We haven't talked about it's Michael B. Jordan's character, who is Creed's son.
Adonis Creed,
Jinx Yomiko.
Adonis Creed, which is Apollo Creed's son.
who is Apollo Adonis Creed's
Which
son.
Yeah.
the story is real quick, and I'll let you describe
Okay.
the movie poster in a second. So
Here at the Cinemadness podcast,
the story
we have
is that they feel the theory is that one of the dancers in the Living in America shot banged, essentially, pardon the lack of official wording on that, but banged Apollo Creed right before he died. Apparently, it was good enough where he impregnated her.
Is this a stripper dancer?
No, it's
just
just
a
one of the
dancer.
background dancers for.
So I'm picturing Coming to America with all those dancers.
no,
Yeah,
the,
that's
in
not-
4.
I didn't see it, remember?
Yes.
We talked about it.
No, I know, but you have to describe it to me.
Oh, it was a big to do.
Yeah.
Is it a hip hop dancer?
No, it's 80s.
It was
80s.
It was
like
Godfather's Soul. What's his name?
yeah, James Brown.
James
so
Brown.
think like
We talked about it last episode.
yeah,
but you didn't describe the dancers.
They're background
yeah,
dancers.
they're skinny, probably size 2, maybe 3, skinny.
Felicia Rashad.
B cup, A cup.
Mrs. Cosby? I don't
Yeah.
want to picture her as a dancer.
Well, no, that's
Oh, that was the adoption. That
that's
was
the
the adopted
third
mother. Yeah.
That's the third woman that plays Apollo's wife.
Oh, she's in Creed?
yeah, she's his mother in Creed.
Oh, okay.
She actually is really good.
Yep.
Good for her.
Too bad
So-
she sticks by Bill Cosby.
Okay, so somebody he impregnated this dancer, and she's Michael B. Jordan character's mom.
Yeah. So she eventually gives Michael B. Jordan up, and he is in the orphan system. And the story starts off with showing kids in a fight in the juvenile facility. And one of the kid who fights and wins the fight gets put in like solitary confinement. Now you pan to Apollo Creed's widowed wife, who walks to the cell and says to this boy, who we don't know who this boy is yet, you know, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? And the boy is a little bit resistant, and then finally she goes, "What is your name?" And that's right where you get the title card that says Creed.
So she doesn't know who this is.
No, she knows exactly who it is. Basically, you don't find out why, but
Well, I want to know why. He didn't know he had a son?
no, he didn't know that he had a son, but she eventually found out.
How?
What makes sense to you?
But no, that's why I'm asking. It doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, more than likely she found out that he had a son by probably hiring somebody.
But why would you hire somebody if you didn't have an inkling that your dead husband had a son running around?
I don't recall them going that deep into that.
Well, you know.
But that's one of my issues with Creed itself, because that doesn't make any sense. It's a great story, and it's a great way to basically reboot the Rocky franchise.
Did she adopt him?
Yeah, she adopted him. She raised him as her own.
Does he ever meet up with his real mother?
Not that I know of. Through 2 films now, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe less than 3, who knows. But why do you need that, to be frank?
Because I'm a girl and
Backstory.
I just want a backstory. I like character development and backstory, and it just doesn't
every
make
girl
sense
that
to
I've
me.
ever known in my life says enough of the details, just get to it.
Not a foreplay guy, huh?
Oh no, I am. But I like that jazz band. It's a very good band called Foreplay. But anyways,
Isn't
yeah,
that a song by Chicago?
yeah. I
Boston.
think so.
No, it's Boston.
Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foreplay
It
been a
wasn't
long time.
Philly.
How long does the song?
You know where Pennsylvania is?
It's in the Midwest, right?
It is.
Anyway, so, and that's where most of the story takes place, is
Got it.
Philadelphia.
Sorry, I derailed it. I just like
It's
to know
okay.
my backstories because
Yeah.
I feel bad for this kid.
No,
He was neglected. He has a dead father, and then his technically
So-
stepmom.
he
Sticks up for
adopted
Bill
him.
Cosby, yeah.
Adonis lives a privileged life, where he becomes he gets a nice profiling job, gets a promotion, but he moonlights in Mexico where he takes on fights.
Yeah, he wants to fight.
Yeah, he wants to fight, and he doesn't tell his mom. He has 12 fights in Mexico. And finally, he figures out why he wants to fight, and he identifies himself with his dad. And he wants to fight.
Yeah,
like
he
his
gives
dad.
up everything and moves to
Philadelphia.
gross Philly part
Because
to learn more about his dad.
Yeah, he wants
to be a fighter.
Yeah, he wants to be a father like his dad. So then he, just like Tommy Gunn, there we go again.
Seeks out
Rocky Balboa. Rocky is like, hey, I'm not training anybody anymore.
Because
kid.
I'm 80.
And at this point, Paulie's dead now.
Oh, thank God.
Paulie's dead.
He leaves a bottle of whiskey on his tombstone next to
and
Adrian's.
There's a sweet scene where you see Rocky reading the news to two gravestones. He gives a bottle of whiskey to Paulie's grave, and with Adrian, he puts a flower and he goes, hey, how's it going? Yo, it's me, Rocky, and I just want to, hey, here we go. And he starts reading the newspaper, sits down, and he starts reading to the gravestones, and it's kind of a sweet moment.
Where does the son live now?
The son, Rocky Jr., you don't see until, I believe, Rocky 2.
Creed 2.
Yeah, or Creed 2,
Oh,
excuse
okay.
me.
We don't see him yet.
Yeah, you don't see until Creed 2.
Goes into a time machine and turns into Rocky 2.
See, I told you, Rocky in Back to the Future. Rocky to the Future, yeah. So Creed 2, you find out that his son took a kid or has a kid that he's never met in Vancouver, but we'll cover that.
Oh yeah, that's right. He moves to Canada. That's right.
Yeah, blame Canada and all that hockey hullabaloo. Exactly. So,
so he seeks out Rocky at Adrian's.
Yeah, and
the restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's a cool moment because he starts spouting off all this kind of like in Black Panther, where he starts spouting all these details about the Wakanda mask. Okay.
Oh yeah, in the museum, right?
Yeah. Kind of the same thing, except he's
I do remember that.
He's in the restaurant with Adrian's, looking at information or pictures of his dad, going, "Hey, you fought Apollo Creed," and of course Rocky is like, "Yeah."
He doesn't know who he is yet.
No.
Yeah, got it.
Everybody knows that. He goes, yeah, but I heard that there was a third fight. There's a third fight that no one knows about.
Why are you
That's a
pointing at
secret
me?
fight because
That's the painting fight.
Yeah. A third fight that no one knows about. Yeah, there's literally a painting of it right here, Rock, but that no one knows about. And I hear that he won. Wait, how you know this, Rocky says. No one knows about that. He goes, that's my dad. No, something like that. Sorry, I went full hook on that. That's my dad. Way to go there.
Good form.
But so they basically eventually go the Tommy Gunn route. Hey, I want you to train me on. No, I know nothing about training. And then
I know nothing about training no babies.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Are we quoting The Help now? Is that where
He's gone with the wind.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
She knows all about it. Birthing babies.
I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. So as the film goes on, it's essentially a retelling of Rocky 1 meets Rocky 5, where you see him go the route. There's a little bit of disdain where Rocky was told by some of his friends to watch their kid fight. And Rocky's like, no, I don't want anything to do with that. I'm stepping away. And suddenly this kid comes in, Adonis Creed, which is known as Adonis Johnson at first. He doesn't take on the Creed name.
He's known as Donnie.
Yeah, Donnie.
Oh, that's not a
cool
name.
So there becomes fighting, and then once Adonis Creed takes on the one of the main fighters in the movie at first, at least in the first act, that becomes a point of jealousy where it's known in the boxing world that Apollo Creed had a illegitimate kid, and then people know. Well, upon this, there's this fighter in England. I think Pretty Blassie, or I forget his name, but he's a fighter in England.
Pretty Blassie.
I forget his character's name, but
Pretty
he's
gassy.
I'll tell you. I have it up.
Thank you.
Because I noticed too. Is Bianca his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, I like her. She's Valkyrie.
Yeah. Valkyrie is introduced, and she's actually
Pretty Ricky Conlon.
Thank you, Pretty Ricky Conlon.
So this is just an MCU movie.
Basically.
Essentially, excuse me. So Valkyrie is in it, that young lady, and she does a great job. She basically plays this Alicia Keys type character. Alicia Keys.
She very much reminds me of Alicia Keys,
Well,
the way she looks.
So
Alicia
does she
Keys-
sing, "Don't fight," but she sings?
No, she doesn't sing that. She
She's
actually
like,
has a
"Creed is
yeah.
on fire."
Well, she has a pretty cool song in Creed 2, which we're going to touch on momentarily.
Creed 2 is on fire.
Yep. And so what she ends up doing.
2 is in Russia.
Yep.
Do they go back to Russia?
Yes.
Oh yeah, because I know what happened.
Oh my! You see, now you're catching on. Yeah.
I don't need to catch on. I know. This is basically like
A reboot, essentially.
no. I was gonna say this goes kind of hand in hand with Maverick, aside from the fact that Goose didn't want Rooster to fly. He didn't know anything about Creed, but I'm wondering if he knew he had a son, if he would want him to stay out of fighting. And now Sylvester is like, or Rocky is like, I'm going to be like a dad figure and I'm going to train you to fight. Kind of
So
like
there was
Maverick.
there was an interesting monologue that Donna Creed's stepmom / mother figure says, "I don't want you to
Huxtable.
box."
Yeah, Claire Huxtable.
Yeah,
just say
Claire
it.
Huxtable. She has this awesome monologue that's very revealing, very cold, but very truthful. Like a mother's touch, firm but sweet. Whereas like you can't box, you don't know what your father went through. And she talks about the dark side of, having the pains in the head, not being able to wipe his own ass because he's so beat up. She was there the whole time. She's not going to do that again. And again, just like Adrian, eventually she ends up getting ringside seats and cheering him on as he gets his ass handed to him. You see Valkyrie. She's a love interest. She's great. It's basically Alicia Keys meets India Arie, in my opinion. She has she sings her own songs. It's actually pretty cool, and it really helps promote the story. And it's very smart how they do it. And throughout the film, Rocky is a better version of Rocky 5, basically bottom line. And then you see Creed take on the guy in England. He wins. He has a great match, and he gets respect, and that's how the story ends. Long story short.
So we're not agreeing with me that it's kind of similar to Maverick?
Well,
Very much so.
In theory, yeah.
Nobody said anything when I brought that up.
It was like the start of the Legacy movies.
Yeah. So
You had this. You had like Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Well, yeah, but Ghostbusters Afterlife isn't like a father-son type. I'm talking about like the father's...
It is, though.
It's, well, kind of. It's a father-daughter.
Granddaughter.
Well, no, the daughter, too.
Yeah.
But
I'm saying it's Legacy. It's
Yeah.
retelling of the original.
Yeah, but I wasn't even talking specifically about Legacy. I'm talking about how if he was alive, would he
I see what you're saying.
Would he have said, I don't want you fighting. I don't want you going down that path. Now he's putting him down that path where Rooster was like, Goose was like, I don't want you to fly.
I think Apollo would definitely help him.
Yeah, he would have wanted him.
Yeah.
I think that Apollo, because of how conceited he was.
Yes, exactly.
I think he won because he had other kids. So I think
Did he train any of them?
Not to our knowledge.
No, he
They
didn't
never
survive
even
long
mentioned-
enough.
They never even really
They
mentioned
never
him
mentioned
besides,
it, yeah.
He never got to retire.
Yeah. Well, he retired, and then he went and come out of retirement.
Well, he never got to retire.
Yeah, but
And this is kind of like Rocky doesn't have, he has a son, but he never wanted to fight. He's an
Exactly,
accountant, so
yeah.
he's like, well, you can be my son,
Yeah.
and I'll be helping my fallen brother.
Because he never got that closure with Tommy Gunn.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did he go? Is he gone?
Yeah, he's
well,
gone.
Sylvester Stallone said that he sees Tommy Gunn essentially becoming a third-rate wrestler. Is how he saw his like
The Miz?
Miz is actually a pretty cool guy.
Oh, I know.
I like
Yeah.
the Miz.
I
So he's
think
working.
he lives in the area. I think
Of course he does. Who doesn't?
90%
He
of
does? Oh, I didn't know
90% of
that.
wrestlers live
I
in the
want to
area.
find him. I want to talk to him about real world.
Yeah,
Nothing
right?
to do with wrestling.
Oh boy. But so that's essentially
That was a
Creed
little
1.
judgy.
Yeah. And there's an awesome scene where they basically recreate they bring that running of the streets of Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, that was a cool actually shot for
but-
shot thing.
Yeah, they do it with motorbikes and four-wheelers. Oh, and during a point, I hear you out there in listening land, I'm getting to it. Rocky comes down with cancer, and that's how
yeah.
Adonis Creed.
That's a big part of the movie.
Yeah, that's a huge part of the movie.
Because Rocky doesn't want chemo. He doesn't want to go through the shit of chemo. And
Because that's what killed. He feels that helped kill Adrian.
Yeah. So he said. So Adonis was like, if I'm gonna train, you're gonna fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's really cool shots of Rocky being sick in the chair, and he's still teaching him like shit and stuff, and it's really good. And then there's stuff of Adonis, helping him from the bathroom.
Yeah. So there's this. Yeah. And that's a very strong scene where you see Adonis running the streets of Philadelphia, and you see these
With
motorcycles.
Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Philadelphia. Na, na, na.
Ain't no way you're gonna dream me here.
Okay.
A lot of editing on this episode.
You brought it on
I know.
yourself.
I know.
Take it. Just take it.
To the streets.
Taking it to the street. A movie that has nothing to do with anything.
Streets.
Anyways, so Adonis is running down the streets with motorcycles behind him. It's the youth, the modern day youth, and they're circling around him as he's screaming for Rocky. Come on, let's go, Rock. Come on, Rock, let's go. Rocky looks out his window kind of like Juliet, if you will, and Adonis is Romeo. And he's like, come on, Rock. Come on, Rock. And Rock just gives his fatherly look and kind of wink.
Get off my lawn.
No, a weak proving fist bump like, yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah. So they both fight their own battles. And that's a very poignant part of Creed that really starts to, I believe, swoon a new audience. And it revitalizes the story of Rocky. And it has a really good message. Now, what's interesting is Sylvester Stallone, in 2012, he lost his son. And he didn't want to do this film, especially when he started reading about it.
He lost his son and his wife.
Yeah.
All at one time.
Yeah, he was going through a lot emotionally.
I thought he's been married to the same lady for a really long time.
I don't know. That has nothing to do with his son, but just hang in there with me, okay?
But he brought up that he lost his wife.
I thought he had two deaths.
So Ryan Coogler sold it to Sylvester Stallone, saying, it's going to be good. Hey, look, the story I think is very. It will bring you a lot of catharsis. So it did, and there's a scene where Donnie Creed is in his son's old room in the house as they're training together, and Donnie Creed pulls up a picture of his kid, and you see Sylvester Stallone, I feel, break character a little bit and says, yeah, that's my son. And he talks a little bit about this memory.
Yeah, it was just his son. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sage.
So, no problem. So he ends up taking the film, and he makes a movie, and he has a very strong and powerful performance. So that is Creed 1, which sets the story.
Good Lord.
3 years later for Creed 2, also known, in my opinion, Rocky 4 Part 2. Hey,
yes.
if they have,
Oh, yeah, because he goes to Russia.
Yeah.
Not just that, it's Ivan Drago's son.
Yes.
So this is a fun film, but I remembered it a lot more in my head to be more powerful than what it was when I saw it second time or third time around.
From a filmmaker point of view, this is my favorite shot Rocky-related movie. It's one of the best.
It really is strong.
It's one of the best shot movies I've ever seen.
It really,
the cinematography and the lighting is fantastic in this movie.
So the first film started off as the introduction to Creed, okay, with the fighting. This film shows Drago's kid, and you see Drago's kid
and Drago. Yeah,
well, you see Drago's kid at first, and you don't realize what you're watching. You're just seeing some big, muscular white guy beating up on another big, muscular white guy in what appears to be some Eastern European place. And then after he knocks the other guy out, the focal point goes to his corner, and that's where you see Dolph Lundgren smiling with approval, and you see on the back Drago.
This is the Cobra Kai movie.
Essentially. So, and that's where the title card comes up, Creed 2. You're introduced to Donnie, who's having his relationship with Valkyrie, Tess Thompson, I think her name is. Tessa
Her
Thompson.
name is Bianca, apparently.
Well, she does a great job. She's a beautiful singer. But so you see a wedding proposal, and what's funny is Bianca, her character is deaf. So if she's losing her hearing, so if she's not wearing her hearing aid, she can't hear anything.
Did she get hit in the head too?
No, she was just born.
She
with
took
a
over
deficiency.
Rocky's blindness.
She got cauliflower
Yeah.
ear.
Oh yeah.
Does anybody have cauliflower ear in any of these movies? Because
No.
that is the most
No.
disgusting thing I've ever seen.
No.
No.
And it's
No.
one of those things where you can't stop
Still no.
looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Still no.
So who's this? Never mind. You're going to keep going. So
Go ahead. No.
I want to know who. Does Rocky Jr. have a son? Because I see a Logan Balboa.
So you remember I said that he has a kid in
Canada.
Vancouver? That's Logan Balboa. That's the grandkid. That's the grandkid.
I just said that he has a grandson.
And we talked about that on Creed.
I don't remember you saying he has a grandson.
Yeah, he brought up in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh, yeah, he went to Canada.
Yeah.
And then
Blame
you guys
Canada.
started singing Blame Canada.
I didn't start singing that. I think he did.
Roll the tape. So as we continue on.
So the guy's name is Big Nasty. I think that's funny.
Who?
Florian. Oh, sorry, Victor Drago, aka Florian Big Oh, that's his real name. His real name's Florian Big Nasty.
Okay.
The guy who plays him.
All right. Well,
That's a wrestler. That's funny to me.
Well, he's a beast. I mean, he's
Is he
Is
big
he?
and nasty?
yeah, he's
He looks pretty
intimidating.
big.
Yeah, he's
Oh, he was
intimidating.
in Shang-Chi.
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 Yeah, he was laser arm, whatever.
Oh, yeah. He was
Laserface.
Laserface guy.
Yeah.
But not Taserface.
Not Taserface,
Yeah,
no.
him too. So it's a marriage proposal where he's proposing to Donnie Creed is proposing to Tess Bianca, and so he's proposing to her, and he has this wonderful monologue where it's like, "Hey, you've always been there." She doesn't realize that he's proposing, so she was getting ready in the bathroom. She was taking a shower, and she opens the door, and he's down on one knee. She's like, "Oh my God, are you doing this? Hold on." She's trying to grab her hearing aid, so she finally, and it's like, "You didn't hear any of that?
I mean, he should have known. He should have been like, "Do you have your hearing aid in?"
He realized that after the fact, so now he has to go. It's like, "What's your answer?" And she's like, yes, 1,000 times. They kiss, they make out. It's pretty hot. And then you see Drago looking to
In the window.
No, it cuts to Drago now in Adrian's restaurant. So you see the Russian, and this is where
If
the
he
imagery-
dines, he dines.
exactly, with Diner's car. So this is where some of the imagery
He looks
and
at the
payoff,
bread and says, I must break you.
and this is where the imagery and a lot of the payoff from Rocky IV really comes in, because Drago's sitting there in the restaurant of Adrian's, and he's looking at all these pictures of Rocky and his triumph, so on and so forth. And Rocky is wondering who this guy is, and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing here? Can I help you?" And he goes, and he looks at him, and he goes, and Rocky instantly recognizes him and goes, "Oh, you, what are you doing here?" And Drago goes, "Are any of these pictures of me?" And Rocky goes, "No, I don't have any of that here." So Drago feels, yeah, him too.
And his modern life.
Yeah, exactly. Drago feels bad. You could kind of see Drago is like, okay, this was an important moment of his life. Basically, he lost everything after losing to Rocky.
Right, and it meant nothing to Rocky.
Yeah, it meant nothing. So that moment where it's like, you got any pictures of me? No, I don't have anything of you.
Why should it mean anything to him?
Well, but you got to
what I'm
remember,
saying.
from Drago's point of view, that was a moment in his life that he lost his wife, he lost his country, he lost his money,
Yeah.
he lost everything.
Yeah.
And here he is in Rocky, so it's just one other punch, if you will, an emotional
yeah,
punch.
I get that, but I'm just saying, like, that he's stupid to think that he would have pictures of himself, of his enemy or somebody he beat in his restaurant.
You're correct, but it's just how that.
I think he's a little egotistical.
Maybe. So you have.
I don't know if I brought down communism just by myself, I would at least have a paper clipping.
I won.
Another day in the life of how awesome I am. Or maybe
before I went into space.
In defense of Rocky, maybe it was part of the box that was taken and sold to pay off his debts.
That's right.
Okay, just saying. So as the movie goes on, so Donnie eventually fights Drago's kid in Philadelphia.
We didn't even talk about the first Creed movie, how Felicia Rashad gave Donnie his dad's trunks.
We did not.
I saw the pictures of him wearing it.
Okay.
You're right, and that was actually emotional. You're absolutely correct. That was an emotional.
Those are ugly.
Well, on the front he has Creed, on the back he has Johnson. So.
And next to him he's got Jersey Mike's.
Oh boy. So yeah, no, that's
Creed Johnson. That's my Johnson.
Well, thank heavens that he doesn't have Johnson in front and then Creed in the back.
I mean, he would have got more viewers, I think.
Well.
Looks like he's wearing flip-flops and socks, but then you zoom in and he said, doesn't it look like flip-flops and socks real quick?
It does.
That's.
It looks like the Florida way.
Yeah. Well, he's in Philadelphia, though.
Philadelphia.
Creed 2 had a $50 million budget, and it made $214 million.
I can't wait to see what the budget is on Creed 3. It's got to be even higher.
So Michael B. Jordan's directing that, so it should be pretty exciting.
And Sylvester Stallone's against it.
So, well, yeah, because, but, so, there's a lot of visual poetry in this one.
There sure is.
And as you're looking at half-naked men on your phone.
They have pants on.
That's the half part.
I mean,
exactly. Nothing wrong. Hey, I'm not hating player hate.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Exactly. I'm not hating. Go for it. I love you, sweetheart.
The costume budget must be really low in these movies. You don't have to give them shirts.
So Drago's wife, of course, when we last left Drago, he lost his wife, and that was a plot point with Drago and his kid, where they're talking, and it's like, your mom left us, and the kid said, no, she left you.
Yeah, she left him for Flavor Flav.
Yeah, but so the Drago's kid eventually fights Donnie, and he loses the match because he hits Donnie with a cheap shot, kind of like his father was almost killed. It's very similar, and that shrunk Creed, Little Creed, if you will, Donnie,
the only Creed.
Exactly. That scared him. So he
Lil
basically
Creed.
became
Little Creed.
Yeah. So it basically shook him, kind of like how Hulk was shaken by Thanos, where he
wouldn't be able to change.
Exactly. So kind of like that in a degree. So just to catch up. So now trauma. Now Drago. So now this is where the film kind of drags, in my opinion, because now it's focused on the baby. Donnie gets Tessa pregnant. She has a baby along the way. So now we focus kind of like Rocky 2, where a lot of the focus is on the kid. And then the last quarter of the last act is where Donnie flies to Moscow, fights Drago in his backyard. There is another poignant scene where Drago and his son are in this formal dinner with his ex-wife, played by Chica.
Brigitte.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Brigitte. And it was such a humbling scene because you see Drago in character, and he sees this woman who he probably still has feelings for, and he has not a lot of closure, and she's across the table, but she might as well be a million miles away. And just because her son is starting to get success, she's finally embracing him. She hasn't been there for him this whole time. And and there's a lot of poignance in terms of what the definition of family is and always being there.
Family.
Yeah. So as the film goes on, now Donnie goes to Russia. They fight. Long story short, spoiler alert, Donnie wins. Knocks out the younger Drago.
Little Drago.
Lil Wayne, Little Creed. Yep. Yeah. And this causes Brigitte Nelson, right when she realizes that her son's about to lose, walks out of the boxing match. And Drago watches her walk away yet again. And
She's a bad mom.
they lose the match. Oh, Donnie's kicking little Drago's ass, and Drago throws in the towel, saving his son from embarrassment and from potential injury. So there's some poetry there. Because,
Yeah, you actually see Dolph Lundgren's character be very human in this movie.
Yeah. You saw him as being this almost cyborg, this almost robotic person without any soul, and you saw he had a soul, and these things did phase him.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about Creed 2, but I didn't realize it dragged so much. Like, in my memory, I'm like, oh man, I remember all these great parts of Drago, and I forgot about the baby thing. I'm like, and just watching everything almost in order.
Drama.
Well,
Babies ruin everything.
They sure
pretty
do.
much.
Stupid baby.
Full House, Cosby's,
Family Ties.
Family Ties,
Those are not babies.
Mork and Mindy.
Yeah, the people that shows that had extra babies.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much it's a kiss of death when you have a baby on set. Yeah.
Not Full House.
Okay.
No, there wasn't one in Full House.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uncle
yeah.
Jesse and
Yeah, they had twins.
Oh yeah, the twins.
yeah.
Yeah, it's when the show went.
It's not.
I'll
Now,
risk
Growing Pains sure did when they
Chrissy?
had stupid Chrissy.
And Andy and Family Ties.
Family
I don't remember
Matters.
that, but
I am currently super obsessed with Family Ties right now.
oh yeah.
Wow,
I'm elbowing my
I don't remember
monitor.
Andy. I kind of do. I definitely don't remember that one you just said.
So essentially the fight goes on. So everyone essentially leaves little Drago, but
Yo, it's little Drago
but
He went on to have a rap career.
but Drago
busting out with the remix.
but Drago refuses to leave his kid. And there's a poignant scene near the end where you see Adonis Creed set up his life with his kid and be there as a father. It's kind of almost a nice cap. It almost feels like the end of everything in a
Yeah.
degree.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't think they thought about making a third one.
Yeah, well, that would make sense, but
Does he have a girl or a boy?
It's a baby. It doesn't matter.
I don't remember. I want to say maybe a girl.
That's what I was thinking. He
Because
should
there's
have a
drama
girl.
about her ears, whether or not she would be
She's
deaf.
deaf like mom.
No, she's not.
Deaf like
Yeah.
mommy.
She could grow up to be
$1 million baby.
the round girl.
Lord.
That is so sexist.
Is it?
Women can do things.
Yeah, they can
Okay.
be round girls.
Yeah.
She could be the next Karate
If she's
Kid.
as hot as her dad and her mom, she don't need to be fighting. She doesn't need to be messing that pretty face up.
She
Mess
could be
up that
president.
pretty face. Oh
She
my
could be
god.
president.
Okay.
That purdy face.
I was trying to revolve it back to boxing. Oof.
That's why I
What's
said
more of a
$1
fight than
million
the fight for our
But she's
democracy?
too pretty. You don't want to mess up that pretty face.
Fight for democracy.
I'm done for tonight. Keep going.
Love you,
I'm done
sweetie.
being funny. Or at least trying to.
No,
I don't
you
know
are
if it-
funny.
I don't
You
know if
you
it's landing or not. I'm
No.
just gonna go back to looking at Michael B. Jordan pictures.
anyways. So moving forward, as we the last scene that you see of Lil Drago is he's running. At first it looks like he's running by himself down the streets in Moscow, but you see his dad side by side running with him because they're preparing for their next fight or their next adventure, and he's not leaving them. And you see a little smile from Drago as he smiles at his son as they run stride by stride. And I just felt it was a great cap off of that. And it was and you see Adonis Creed visit his dad's grave like Rocky visits
Paulie.
Adrian's and Paulie's grave.
Does he bring him anything?
I don't recall.
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, I think no. He introduces him to his granddaughter.
He can't
Yeah.
see, so
Apollo shows up as this blue
Ghost.
and the Wookiees dance.
He's got his robes on.
Yeah. You see the Death Star kind of start sprinkling.
You know,
down in the
no, he
background.
shows up in the sky with the alligator.
But we touch on this in episode 1, where
Phantom Menace.
yeah, there was some legal battle essentially with Stallone and pictures of Adonis or Apollo Creed or scenes with him would not be allowed. There's some legalities to it. Like you could show like pictures, but you couldn't show like scenes that are part of it because
Carl
Weathers wanted some royalties for good reason, I feel. So unfortunately, that never really came to fruition. But Carl Weathers did think that Donnie Creed did a great job. So that is Creed 2, and please, if you see Creed 3, let us know. I might see it, and I might add a audio commentary that maybe Adam can add on to later. We'll see. But that's where we're at, and that concludes the saga of Rocky. Thank you, one and all, for hanging in there. So what did you guys think?
You're not even going to talk about the issue with Sylvester Stallone in the third movie?
Let's talk about it. I wasn't certain if you guys were still engaged with it.
Well, it doesn't have to be this long, drawn-out ordeal, but what is the issue with it?
So long story short is the script was written without him in it.
Who wrote the script? Let's see.
I think either Coogler or one of those guys.
Well, if Coogler did it, then that's not right.
Well, so...
How did this come up?
And Sylvester Stallone was not really happy because he felt that he was an afterthought. And he's like, I'm not going to show up just be a ring guy or carry a spit can. You know, there's nothing for me to do.
Oh, yeah. The guy who plays King is in this.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Jonathan Majors.
This is hands down the best poster of all 9 of the Rocky movies.
You just like it because it's 2 good-looking dudes.
I mean, I'm just saying.
It's also a pretty dramatic
It is.
shot.
All of these Creed ones are really good.
They are.
Aside from that they're half-naked men. This one's good. Sorry. That one's good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's showing a Creed 2 movie poster with
The Creed 1 is probably the best.
No, absolutely.
Because it looks like he's being like the father figure,
Right.
and you got the arm shot, and he's just in the hoodie.
And it looks like an independent movie poster.
It does. Like Meet Me in the Ring.
So
Okay, Creed 3. Hold on.
So Allison's looking up information. Well, she's
Director.
looking at... Oh, I was just going to buy you time. Go ahead.
I don't need to buy time.
I apologize, ma'am.
Michael B. Jordan is the director, and Keenan Coogler is the screenplay.
Oh,
Who's
of course.
Keenan? How is he related to Steven?
He's Kel's partner.
You mean Ryan Coogler?
Yes. Why do I keep calling him Steven?
I don't know.
He has been an assistant on all of Ryan's
She touched
movies.
my Pepe safe.
So he just decided to come on in and
cut out
do
Rocky.
the screenplay with this Zach guy, and Ryan Coogler made the story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't agree with this at all. That no wonder he's mad. So they just went on and they're like, we don't need your help at all, and we're not going to reference Rocky whatsoever in the movie.
I don't know if they don't reference him whatsoever. They don't show him. He's not in it. So I fear that either Rocky is on vacation and they're like, where's Rocky? Well, he's on vacation, or cancer finally is coming back and he's resting or whatever.
They might actually say he's dead.
Well, if they actually have him die, that's not fair because
No.
this is literally the brainchild of a guy, and this is where I feel I want to kind of watch the movie just to find out if they killed Rocky.
Yeah. Are you looking it up? Oh,
So-
that spoils it.
Yeah, I won't say anything about it then.
You're going to spoil it for yourself?
I don't care.
I'm curious if you can find out without giving away too much of the movie, but yeah, if he's dead, let me know.
Legally, though, are they allowed to use the name Rocky Balboa? Because that's a character that
He sold the rights.
Yeah, he sold
Oh.
it, so it's MGM. Or
He does not own Rocky at all.
Well, then I'm sorry. He has a right to be butthurt about it, but he doesn't have any legal right
That's
to be.
where he's at.
And
It's
I think
100% creative.
And he's suing. Wasn't he suing?
Yeah.
Did it get thrown out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shame. He shouldn't have sold it. But
Well,
you didn't know. He didn't know.
yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he probably just thought it was going to be more than likely a one-off situation,
Yeah.
and then it became, hey, look, your movies aren't doing well. You might want to do a second one so we can
Yeah.
get you approved.
I wonder if he sees like Michael B. Jordan on the red carpet and he's like, I want to fight you.
No, he's 70-something years old.
Yeah, but he still is big, and I bet you he hates him.
I don't know if he hates him. I think it's business, but it's a little bit personal. He seems like a guy that is very thoughtful and cerebral, but he does take things personal.
I don't think so.
You don't think Sylvester Stallone is cerebral?
I don't think he's very thoughtful. I mean, he might have now, but back in the day, he was a douche. And if
No,
you
and he admits to that.
Yeah.
And that's reflected in some of his, because he did, that's one of the reasons why he wrote Rocky V to be what it was.
He was trying to end it.
Yeah. He recognizes that he got a little bit too big for his britches and he needed to come down to earth.
Yeah, if you see that new Pamela Anderson documentary, she's dated a lot of people, and he called her and was like, you can be my number 2 girl. And she was like, well, that would mean that you have a number 1. And I'm not down with it. I have to be number 1. And he's like, well, that's the best offer you're going to get, kid.
Hey, I'm proud to say that I said something like that to a girl. She goes, you can be in my stable. I go, no, I'm not in a stable. I'm the only horse.
Stable boy.
No, I'm the only horse that you're going to take out. I'm not.
You
going
can be my stable.
Yeah, you can. She had a stable of dudes. Final thoughts on Creed and the Rocky series. Like now that we've dived into it, do you still feel the same, Allison?
Well, I can't say I feel, I can't say I like the movies as I haven't seen them, but it's interesting. I don't think I'm going to watch any Rocky movie. Thank you both for telling me about every movie. So now I can somebody asks me, I can say, yeah, I know about this, this, and this, but I have no interest in watching them. I could watch the Creed ones, maybe, if they're on TV. And
watch the Creed. Because, no, Michael B. Jordan is worth it. He's great. He really is. Adam.
Well, after actually doing the research, I was just gonna read some stuff, Wikipedia and stuff on it, but I actually did some research, and we talked about how they're culturally relevant, and I could see it now. Still not a big Rocky fan. I do like Rocky 3 out of all of them, but the Creed movies are great. Like I said, Creed 2 is really well shot movie.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. It was fun to talk about. It was fun to revisit them. It's because they're released almost every 10 years. It was like revisiting old friends and going through an entire lifetime of movies. And I don't know, it was fun. Thanks.
There's not really a movie franchise that's like that. I mean, Ghostbusters Aftermath is kind of like that, but
which one is Aftermath?
Afterlife. Yeah. So it's the one with Dr. Dre.
Gotta fill up that Roman's Wrong bingo card.
No. It's the one with Dr. Dre in it. Yeah. He's taking on the Winston role. Hell yeah. Ring,
He's a doctor.
dong.
He would be Egon.
Everyone forgot about Winston.
Oh boy. Instead of soul plane, do a soul plane for Ghostbusters. That could be. Again, we're getting on a side tangent. We'll take it off the air, but guys, thank you very much for going on this journey with me. We look forward.
Us.
You guys, my cohorts in listening land, thank you very much. We hope that you enjoyed it. Let us know down in the comments. Let us know what you think. We are excited to bring you more content by all means. Thank you for joining us, and please be on the lookout for more goodies like Allison's work and Adam's work, and eventually I'm going to get some stuff out there.
Allison's work.
Yes. Sorry. Allison, go ahead and give a shameless plug.
No.
Okay.
Or you give us a shameful plug.
My show is called Say Anything with Allison.
Thank you.
You're welcome. No worries. Nobody else listens to it either. So
I listen. I listen. I just
Stop peeling my.
Anyways,
You don't need a
but
price
thank you
tag.
very
Stop
much for
eating
joining
my
us,
sesame
guys.
cake.
Thank you very much for joining us, guys. Stay classy, San Diego, and thanks for stopping by. Allison, send us off, my dear.
have a good night. I don't know. Celebrate cinema. Talk to you later.
Hold me now, chick free from the Asian I'm thinking. Maybe we